Hello and welcome to the 6th edition, the second for the year 2026. My name is Neo Tagbe and we're broadcasting live from our studio in Abuja. Here are our top stories today. Federal High Court in Abuja shifts decision on bail application by former Justice Minister Abubakar Malami, wife and son to January 7. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang dumps the PDP for the APC, receives membership card. U.S. President Donald Trump warns against Iran cracks down on protesters, says America will intervene. The Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned to January 7th the ruling on the bail application filed by former Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, his wife and son. Justice Emeka Nwite fixed a date after hearing arguments from both the defense and prosecution counsels. News Central's correspondent Joshua Imarai reports.
The courtroom of Justice Emeka Nwite at the Federal High Court in Abuja was filled to capacity as former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation Abubakar Malami, his son Abdulaziz Malami, and his wife Asapi Bashir returned to court for the hearing of their former bail applications. Supporters and associates of the first defendant Malami were also present in court. At the commencement of proceedings, counsel to the defendant and senior advocate of Nigeria Paul Daudu urged the court to grant his clients bail on self-recognizance and other liberal terms. Daudu argued that the offences are not capital in nature, bailable, and that the defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction.
The prosecution on their own part, rather than proceed with the matter, knowing fully well that they do not have any right of reply, insisted that they needed time and they needed an adjournment for them to respond to what we had found. But taking into consideration the nature of the application, which is an application which is strictly a discretionary one, and based on what we had already earlier filed before the court, we do our further affidavits and proceeded to take the application.
Counsel to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ekele Iheanacho, opposed the bail applications, arguing that the defendant posed a flight risk. He further told the court that granting bail could lead to interference with witnesses or tampering with evidence.
After hearing argument from the defense and the prosecution counsel, Justice Emeka Nwite has adjourned to the 7th of January to rule on the bail application filed by the defendants. As a result, the former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, his wife, and his son will remain in the custody of the Kuje Correctional Facility, pending when the ruling is delivered. In Abuja, for News Central, I am Joshua Imarai.
Meanwhile, the court in Abuja has granted the Bauchi State Commissioner for Finance, Yakubu Adamu, who's facing a 4.65 billion naira money laundering charge filed by the EFCC, bail. Justice Emeka Nwite set bail at 500 million naira with two sureties for Adamu and his corporate co-defendant, Ayab Agro Products and Freight Company Limited. Despite the bail ruling, Adamu may not be released immediately as he remains under an existing remand order at Kuje Correctional Center in Abuja till January the 5th. The EFCC also arraigned Adamu and a group of former and serving Bauchi state officials on a $9.7 million terrorism financing charge on Wednesday. The court ordered their continued detention pending a hearing on their bail applications scheduled for Monday. And on to politics. The governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, has been presented with a membership card of the All Progressives Congress in Jos, the Plateau State capital, after declaring his defection from the People's Democratic Party. The card was presented by the Plateau State chairman of the APC, Rufus Bature. Governor Mutfwang promised to abide by the rules of the party and continues to carry every Plateau citizen along in his administration, irrespective of their ethnic or religious background. He is to hold his inaugural meeting with the state executive members of the APC today.
I believe God gave us a song. I don't care what tribe you belong to, but as far as on Plateau you live, if indeed you are in love with Plateau, you're my brother. And today I'm beginning to see light at the end of the tunnel. I'm beginning to see that the building blocks of unity that we have been molding, that finally we're getting to put them together. And let's have a united Plateau. Today, what I'm seeing is that a new party has been born, the Plateau People's Party, but riding on the platform of the All People's Congress. And that together we will pursue.
Nigeria's political landscape has continued to shift as several sitting and former governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party and other parties have defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress over the years, citing political realignment and strategic interest. Let's take a look at some of them. In April 2025, the Delta State Governor, Sheriff Oborowale, defected from the PDP to the APC, becoming one of the most recent high-profile crossovers. This was followed in June 2025 by Akwa Ibom State Governor Umoeno, who also announced his departure from the PDP. The trend dates back several years. Former Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi defected on November the 22nd, while the former Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade followed in May 2021. In June 2021, former Zamfara Governor Bello Matawalle also switched allegiance to the APC. Earlier defections include former Sokoto Governor Aminu Tambuwal, who left the PDP ahead of the 2015 elections, but later returned, and Aliyu Wamako, who defected in 2014. The former Kwara Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed also crossed over in 2014 before later returning to the PDP. Additionally, in December 2025, River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara defected from the PDP to the APC, marking a major political shift in the oil-rich state. That same month, Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke also left the PDP, ending years of alignment with the opposition party in the southwest. Now, the Osun State Governor never said where he was going to when he was defecting, but eventually I think he went on to the Accord Party, and we're still hoping to get confirmation on that. But that of the Plateau State Governor today is the latest, and I understand that there is another one that is expected this same January, the governor of Taraba State, who had done it quietly, but it's supposed to be a public presentation. Now I'm being joined by my colleague in Plateau State, Chizoba Aniowe, who is in Plateau State. Chizoba, it's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Good to see you. Happy New Year to you.
So, the governor has moved to APC. What's the mood of the populace in Plateau State? I know in his statement, he said, with neither tribe nor tongue or political affiliation really matters. That's what he said. But what is the mood? What are you sensing from the residents of Plateau?
Okay, so from the report that I put up earlier, the governor had said repeatedly, actually, that even though so many people or everybody won't be happy for his defection from the PDP to the APC, he means well. His movement, his defection to the APC means well for Plateau State. And so for him, he would say that this party is called the Plateau People's Party under the umbrella of the APC. I think that's on a lighter mode. But what he's trying to say is that, coming on board APC is to join hands with the party in the state, the president of the country, Bola Tinubu, to improve on the democracy that the people are yearning for, and of course, by extension, to improve development in the state and in the country at large. And so for the mood of the people here in Plateau State, everybody was happy, actually, as far as I'm concerned, from what I saw during the presentation of the membership card of the APC to the governor. People were happy, even those that were known to be like strong hands in the PD. Everyone was shouting APC and all of that. So I think it's a move that people over time had expected, just that it hadn't happened. All right. So now today that it became very official by the governor receiving this card from the APC chairman, everybody seems to be, everyone I saw around seems to be happy with that decision. Because even apart from him, some other people there that were known to be PDP strongholders, they were all screaming and shouting, chanting APC, APC, and all of those. So I think probably they would have spoken to themselves, individually or group or by party to accept this move, which they think, as the governor has said, it's just a platform that will unite the people of Plateau together, irrespective of their religious affiliations, irrespective of ethnicity and all of those. Because, over time, there had been crises on the Plateau, killings here and there, and all of those. So for him, it brought together past governors that were not in PDP. We had Senator Simon Lalong in attendance at this event this morning. We also had Honorable Chibi Darie, Joshua Chibi Darie, also in attendance. Some other National Assembly members present. So for me, it's truly, like the governor has said, it's a platform that is going to unite people together for more developmental strides in this thing.
All right, thank you, Chizaba. Thank you for that. We would move on, and then we'll come back to Plateau in a bit. I think we're going to be speaking with somebody else in Plateau, but let's just go on to Bayelsa State, where we're being joined virtually by Dr. Doye Fidere-Kumo, who is a legal practitioner and public affairs analyst, and also a lecturer at the Faculty of Law, Niger Delta University, Amasoma in Bayelsa State. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Fidere-Kumo.
Thank you very much for having me. And I wish you and your crew a glorious new year.
Amen. Amen. Dr. Fidere-Kumo, this matter of defections, the latest being that of Bayelsa's, Plateau State Governor. You're in Bayelsa. The Bayelsa State Governor moved a few weeks earlier. But what does it say? Legally speaking, let's start from the legal side, and let's just go pa. Legally speaking, is it the right thing to do?
Okay, the thing is, yes, legally, every person in the executive office elected as either governor, deputy governor, president or vice president is actually allowed to leave his party for some other party, no matter the circumstances. The Supreme Court has actually affirmed that in the case of Abubakar against INEC, that was a case involving Atiku's defection to the Action Congress from the PDP. In fact, an interesting part of that particular judgment, the Supreme Court said, while the defection of Atiku from PDP to the Action Congress was immoral, it was actually legal. And since then, the courts have consistently confirmed that position, even up to Mai's defection.
Okay. So
yes, it is perfectly legal. They are free. It is really rather curious that the provision as in relation to defection, defection as relates to the legislative branch of government, which is the National Assembly and the respective state house of assembly, doesn't actually apply to the executive branch of government. And only God knows what the framers of our constitution actually had in mind
so
when they did that.
I was going to ask you that question. I was going to ask you a question about why that condition does not apply to the legislature. But
honestly, it is really difficult to say.
It's okay, but you know what, Dave, if you don't mind, we will just take a moment to go on a quick break. We'll come back to this conversation. Please, our viewers, stay with us. Welcome back. We still have our guest, Dr. Doye Fidere-Kumo, legal practitioner and public affairs analyst, here with us. Doye, when we went to that break, I said I was going to ask you about how these conditions don't apply to the legislature. But let's leave that and look at the political side of things. Look at the political space in Nigeria. It looks like we're having a one-party affair right now, almost a one-party affair, because everybody's moving to the APC. what will happen to, or what do you think is going to happen to the members of the APC who have been running and serving the party, and then suddenly they are finding out that their leadership positions are most likely going to be taken over by those who are moving in?
Well, in any case, that is actually a consequence of defection. A consequence of defection in the sense that virtually every political party actually makes arrangements for who becomes the leader of the party, whether it's on the basis of defection or not. Most often, it is actually the governor of the state by virtue of the constitution. I'm sure they are going to work out some of those differences within the context of their party. That is an internal arrangement.
Yeah. That is
an internal arrangement. And we would also concede to persons who are defecting their rights, their fundamental right to freedom of association, to go anywhere they want to go to. Because you see, we must be real, despite the talk about a one-party state and the potentials for that. It is still firmly within the right of a person to elect, for whatever reasons, to go to any party he wants, especially for those of the executive. And you know, when a man makes a determination to become a governor, it doesn't consult the public. It doesn't. It's most often a decision between himself and his political supporters. When he says, "Okay, I want to run for the office of governor," so the right to belong to a political party is also an aspect of your right to conscience, your right to expression.
What about service to the people? What about the right of the citizens that you're elected to serve? Is that even taken into consideration before this movement?
No, it is not. It's not really a factor because membership of a political party has nothing to do with governance. Once you become a member of a political, you're elected a governor. Section 4 of the Constitution takes effect. Your duty is to enforce the law. In fact, as consistent with the oath of office, without political considerations, without considering whether somebody is a member of APC, a member of PDP, because the road you actually construct is without prejudice without consideration as to whether persons are members of a certain political party. The salaries you pay, for example, is without regard to membership of a political party. The schools you rebuild, the teachers you employ, and some of the things you do once you step in, because there is a distinction between membership. And the reason why that has actually become very fundamental is because of the Constitution. It provides that you would need to belong to a party to contest election.
Okay.
If we are taking that actually out completely, and that is actually my position, this issue of defection would not be a big deal.
Okay.
In situations, for example,
if you don't mind, I'd like to bring in the state chairman of the APC in Plateau State, Mr. Rufus Bature. Mr. Bature, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We're just talking to a legal practitioner and law lecturer at the Niger Delta University about this recent happening and how this is working out. And from his point of view, it's okay. I mean, it's his right, it's the right of the governor to exercise his freedom of movement. But there are those who are concerned about how this is looking on our democracy. You're happy to receive the governor into your ranks, but are your members as happy as they should be?
Yes, of course. Everyone is happy on the plateau, both PDP and APC. There were some differences, but I think we have understood ourselves and the need for us to be together. So I'm telling you, the average plateau person is happy because of this coming together.
Okay. So there's no rancor as per I am in this leadership position, this man coming in, I might be losing my leadership. There's no rancor about that. Nobody's worried about such.
Well, here and there might be worries, but on a general terms, I think the average person is happy, and I believe that at the end of the day, we will come together and then think certain things to certain people. We will understand ourselves, and then because the main aim is the unity of Plateau State, and it's coming. We have told our supporters from the different political parties that there is need for us to come together. There is space for everybody, and not everybody will occupy the same position. At a particular point in time, we will have leaders, we will elect leaders, even from our fold. So everybody has a chance to compete for all the positions that are slated: the governor, the senators, the House of Assembly, the chairmanship, and all whatnot. There is going to be a level playing ground for everybody to compete.
Okay, so before I let you go, there are those who would have been aspiring in 2027, for instance, for the ticket of the APC for governorship. Now that Governor Mufwang has come over, would you still hold that primaries, or is he likely to get a bye? And then what happens to the others and their ambition?
Yeah, we believe in the rule of law, because democracy is about the rule of law. And if the provision of the APC constitution is to allow everybody to exercise the franchise, just like the Nigerian constitution allows, we will allow everybody the freedom to contest, everybody to the freedom to vote, and everybody to exercise his the constitutional provisions for him, the right to speak, the right to associate.
Mr. Bature, let me
everybody will be given an opportunity.
Okay, Doye, if you're still there, let's look at this other side about how to ensure that constitutionality is ensured so that democracy is not threatened, because that is a concern of a lot of people. Doye, how do we do this?
Okay, but before I take that point, I have a point of divergence with Mr. Bature. Let us be very realistic. He's not in a position to really say how members of the APC actually feel about the defection of the governor of Plateau State. This defection is not because of it's just a survival move. You know, it has been long in coming, but we all know that the platform upon which he was elected, the PDP, is comatose. It's actually legally dead, so to speak. And the prospect of actually having some of these issues the legal issues resolved between now and the next election itself is not possible. So we really cannot actually say there is no empirical study to support the conclusion that there was the members of the APC in Plateau State were really excited. In fact, there were consistent reports for this point in time that his movement into the party was greatly resisted. We need to be clear about this, because he has to look for a specific platform to run for a second term. And APC is the platform as at this point in time. Everything changes. We had close 16 years of PDP rule. APC is in charge for now. And you know, only God is king. This time will actually pass. Others would come in.
All right.
So the defection of the governor of Plateau State has not to do with the interest of the state. It is a case of a desire for political survival. Case to ensure that
can you just answer the question on constitutionality, please, and protection of democracy, so that we can go?
No. I had already made the point that it is actually legal for a governor to move. The problem is with the members of the legislature.
Okay.
And if you know what is actually happening now in PDP, aside from the fact it's actually polarized, there are already decisions to the effect, very clear decisions, final judgments, that the product of the convention, what Minister Wike describes actually as Amala Convention, so to speak, in Oyo State itself, is an illegality. INEC does not recognize anybody as representing the PDP.
All right, Doye, we really have to go. Thank you so much. Doye Fideri Kumar is a lecturer, Faculty of Law, Niger Delta University, and Master of Bayelsa State. He's also a legal practitioner and public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming in today. We will get you back so that we can have more time to look at this legal side. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Bature, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still there.
Mr. Bature, I want to say congratulations on receiving the Plateau State Governor, and we wish you and your party well as you navigate the waters of unity on the Plateau towards 2027 and peaceful coexistence.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
News just coming in has that Anthony Joshua's driver has been charged after a crash in Nigeria injured the boxer and killed 2 of his team members. Adeni Kayode was charged at the Shagamu Magistrates Court on Friday, reportedly accused of causing death by dangerous driving. Joshua's personal trainer Lateef Ayodele and strength coach Shina Gami died on Monday after the vehicle they were traveling in crashed into a stationary truck on a highway in Ogun State near Lagos. The former heavyweight champion was taken to the hospital with injuries after the crash and was discharged on Wednesday. Prosecutors brought 4 charges against Kayode: causing death by dangerous driving, reckless and negligent driving, driving without due care, and driving without a valid driver's license. A defendant was granted bail in the sum of 5 million naira and was remanded pending his bail conditions being met. The case had been adjourned until January the 20th. We'll take another moment and we will be back for more stories. Just stay with us. Welcome back. The Forum of Southeast Academic Doctors, FOSAD, has released its 2025 Governors Performance Poll, ranking leaders across 10 key sectors like security, infrastructure, and transparency. The survey, based on 830 responses from PhD holders, aims to encourage accountability. FOSAD plans to make the poll an annual tradition with an award ceremony set for January 2026. Our News Central's Chinwe Ugele reports on some of the Governor of Abia State's achievements in 2025 that earned him the highest ranking in that report.
The forum conducted the poll exclusively among its 853 members who evaluated the governors on developmental projects, rule of law, human capital development, and social welfare initiatives. Abia State recorded significant progress in security last year, with residents and security officials noting a marked reduction in criminal activities.
Even if you commit the crime, eventually I will track you and get you. We have technology to track criminals, and we have done that in the past.
Lately, we've not heard about any bad thing like kidnappings and all those things. Right here where we are now is relatively peaceful.
In education, the government upgraded several schools to smart schools and introduced innovative programs in public institutions. For the first time in the state's history, over 5,000 teachers were recruited in one exercise for primary and secondary schools. Healthcare also saw major improvements, with primary health centers being functionalized and nearly 1,000 health workers employed to strengthen service delivery. On infrastructure, around 20 roads were completed or flagged off for reconstruction, improving connectivity across the state. Special advisor to the governor, Ferdinand Ekoma, says the administration plans to achieve even more in 2026.
Governor Lexoti is award shy, so he's not working because he wants to win an award. So, but naturally, when you are commended for some feats, great feats, when you receive positive reactions from the people as a result of your performance, you are naturally inspired and spurred to do more. So Governor Lexoti, of course, is committed, especially in this new year of 2026. He's very committed to doing better for our people. He's committed to, lifting our people out of poverty. He's committed to writing the checkered history of Abia. He's committed to making our people proud, to making our people happy, to creating opportunities for our people.
Residents described Governor Oti as God-sent, citing the attention given to projects previously neglected.
As far as this country is concerned, actually 20 years.
They expressed optimism for continued delivery of democracy dividends in 2026 and beyond. In Abia for News Central, Chinwe Ugele.
So let's take a look at some of the benchmark, because it looks like a new benchmark for political accountability has been set in the Southeast. Forum of Southeast Academic Doctors, FOSAD, releasing that definitive 2025 performance poll recently. This is what it looks like. First position, Dr. Alex Oti of Abia State got 55.5%, praised for visible reforms, over 200 health centers renovated, geometric power project, and key road dualizations. He'll receive the Best Performing Governor Award this month. In second place is Barrister Peter Amba of Enugu, 35.2%. That's 292 votes, noted for bold developmental push and solving Enugu's perennial water crisis. In third place is Professor Charles Soludo of Anambra State, 7.8%, acknowledged for urban renewal and education reforms. Fourth place, Senator Hope Uzodinma, 0.8% of the vote. And the fifth place is Right Honorable Francis Nwifuru of Ebonyi State, 0.6%, just 5 votes, reflecting concerns over current development pace. FOSAD 2025 poll assessed the governors across 10 key areas, from security, governance and transparency to infrastructure, job creation, and agriculture. It also focused on education, healthcare, youth and women inclusion, regional integration, and climate sustainability, offering a well-rounded view of each governor's impact. The goal, to reward both immediate result and long-term planning through a balanced, evidence-based scorecard. Whoa. I'm now being joined by Dr. Uzo Ngoladi, Secretary General, Forum of Southeast Academic Doctors. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, and Happy New Year.
You're looking real nice. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much.
There are days, you look like a very young man, but there are days when you see that academic doctors, you have plenty of gray hair. Okay?
Yeah, because we do a lot of reading and thinking.
Exactly. Well, it's good to see you. Now, what you and your group have done here, some would wonder why, what gave you the impetus to even begin to think in this direction?
Okay, thank you very much. The Forum of Southeast Academic Doctors, we are very much interested in good governance. In fact, if we look at our mission is to promote the interest of the Southeast, to defend the Southeast, to speak up for the Southeast. We are non-partisan, we are non-religious, we are just a civil society organization, which comprises of all the academic doctors from the 5 states of the Southeast. So whatever we are doing is in the best interest of the Southeast. And we also synergize with the Southeast Governors Forum. We synergize with them. So this year that ended, 2025, we just thought about it. Is it not better we just conduct a poll on Google Documents? You just go online. It's a very simple pool. It's a kind of, in research, we call it a survey design kind of research. We know that we are over 5,000 scattered all over the globe, both in the diaspora, in the Southeast, and in other states of Nigeria. So we ask people to vote. And when it comes to that survey design of research, 200, the number 200 or 300 is significant enough. You can use it to write your academic research.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, it was about 853 that responded. Then Google only collated 830. They used it because we stopped the pool on the 31st of December.
Okay.
So from the pool, you saw the result. You read it out. So it's very transparent, it's free and fair. And our intention is to inspire Southeast governors. It's not to spite anyone. It's just to say, look, this person has done well. in so and so.
So it's not a question of this person invested in our work or didn't invest in our work.
No.
It's about what the person's doing for the state,
for the people,
the residents of the people.
Yes,
the residents of the state rather. Now, but there are those who will be concerned that Forsad is doing this to draw attention to itself, in the sense that we want the governor to give us or to do some things for us.
No, we're not interested in that. We've been putting out press releases concerning issues that are happening in the Southeast. You know, anything that concerns, even this December, we put out a statement concerning the hike in airfare and the road transportation. You know, so we do that from time to time, sometimes 2 or 3 times in a month. You know, but we've not been able to meet any of the governors. So we are not even in, you know, PhD holders. They are very,
you're very busy doing your research.
Yes, they are too elitist. They won't go to your office to wait for you and say they want to see you. Or we've been having our conferences. Our last conference was in Enugu. We didn't see the governor. We just did our conference and everybody just gathered. We presented papers which we are using for our Forsad International Journal. The one we had in Owerri. 2024, the same thing. So majority of them are not interested. Majority of us are employed now. They are what they are doing with their life.
When you talk of academic doctors or prowess in the academics, for instance, we have the Ajan Wachukus of renown, and then, but in terms of governance, if you go throughout the Southeast states, you hear people still mention roads built by Sam Mbakwe.
Sure.
And one begins to wonder, how is it that we're no longer hearing of other governors that have come in after Sam Mbakwe, just a few years after they leave office? Do you think this surveys that you've decided that you want to do annually now will make any difference? Will any governor be able to match up a Sam Mbakwe?
Sure. We want to motivate the Southeast governors. We know they are human beings. And when you come into that position, there will be a lot of people, sycophants. And people who want to, your cronies, most times it's these cronies that block you from the realities on the ground and from performance. So with this now, because the press release we put out concerning this, we tagged all the governors. We tagged them on Twitter. Everybody, you see your performance. So with this now, all of them will kind of step up their game, step up government policies that will impact the lives of the people directly. That's just what we want. We want good governance. We cannot continue blaming the government at the center. When we have Southeast geopolitical zone, of which Anambra State alone has the highest number of billionaires in Nigeria. Maybe one day we'll also conduct that poll. We have a lot of prominent citizens from the Southeast. Why don't we even have a port? There should be a port, because Igbos are importers. Majority of them are importers that you see in Lagos today. So we don't even have a port. There's a lot of things that is missing in the Southeast. So we believe that with this, it's a kind of creating awareness. Let the governors know that you now have watchdogs. And with the help of social media, you can't hide good governance. People will will put out your works as it is.
Is Forsad also looking to collaborate with academia in other regions of the country?
Oh, sure.
How's that working out?
Yes, it's working out well. We have told them also. In fact, I had a meeting with somebody that comes from the Northeast the other day, and he was, wow, that this is I said, we can start it. Put yourself together. We should not only, our academic research should not only stop in the classrooms. Because you know that over 80% of us are lecturers, they are in academia. But we have other people, captains of industry, people who are working. You mentioned Sam Mbakwe. Sam Mbakwe is a PhD holder. Nnamdi Azikiwe is a PhD holder. So we believe that we are the elites. We should be the voice of our various geopolitical zones. We cannot shy away from governance. Even those of us who want to contest elections, Alex Oti is a PhD holder. I hope you know. PhD.
So he's one of your colleagues.
Yes. And when you look at it, there are so many. The governor of Borno State is a PhD holder. He's a professor. The former governor of Cross River State is also a PhD holder. So we are telling ourselves that we cannot just end up in the classroom. We should be interested in governance. Though Forsad is non-partisan. If you want to contest the election, you have our blessing, you have our support. You should know your local government chairman. You should know the councillor. And you should always call them to order. We don't just continue criticizing government at the center. Igbos are being marginalized. The Southeast is being marginalized. Meanwhile, you don't know the councillor of where you come from. You don't know. Some of them, if you ask them, they are the person representing them in the House of Representatives, they don't know. So you should know these things. You should liaise with them. You should let them know that, look, there's a watchdog. We are watching you. And when you do well, we commend you. And when you don't do well, we call your attention. See, look at this place. Look at insecurity. Look at the bad roads. Look at the schools, primary and secondary schools. In the Nigeria of today, where we have social media, there should be no dilapidated primary or secondary school. Because we'll just snap it and put it up on social media and everybody will see.
All right, thank you. Dr. Uzo Ngoladi is the Secretary General of the Forum of Southeast Academic Doctors, FOSA. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Wish you and your forum well in your endeavors.
Sure. Thank you very much.
We'll take a moment, and when we come back, we'll go beyond the shores of Nigeria to see what's going on out there. Do stay with us. Libya has confirmed that the United Kingdom will analyze the black box recovered from a plane crash in Turkey that killed a senior Libyan military delegation. The incident occurred on December the 23rd, shortly after the aircraft departed Ankara, claiming the lives of General Mohammed al-Haddad, 4 aides, and 3 crew members. Libyan authorities say the decision followed consultations with Turkey and was guided by international aviation rules, requiring a neutral country to handle the analysis. Officials said the findings are expected to clarify the cause of the crash, which Turkish authorities have linked to an electrical failure. At least 7 people have been confirmed dead, with many others missing after a boat carrying about 200 migrants capsized off the coast of Gambia overnight on Wednesday into Thursday. Gambian authorities say 96 survivors were rescued, several of them with serious injuries. The Gambian Navy launched a search and rescue operation shortly after midnight, deploying multiple naval vessels with assistance from a nearby fishing boat. The capsized vessel was later found grounded on a sandbank as rescue efforts continued. Officials also confirmed that several of the victims are believed to be foreign nationals, with identity verification currently ongoing. President Donald Trump has warned that the U.S. would intervene if Iranian authorities shoot and kill protesters demonstrating against worsening economic conditions in the country. The U.S. president said his country was locked and loaded and would act if peaceful protesters are violently suppressed by Iranian authorities. The warning followed days of nationwide protests across several Iranian provinces, with some demonstrations turning deadly after clashes with police on Wednesday. Iranian officials have swiftly rejected President Trump's comments, issuing strong warnings against any U.S. interventions, adding that an American intervention would trigger instability across the region and harm U.S. interests. Now let's go on to Morocco, where Mozambique's national team has been promised a major financial incentive ahead of their AFCON 2025 round of 16 clash with Nigeria. President Daniel Francisco Chapo approved a special bonus of 500,000 Meticai, estimated at about 11.3 million for each player, 11.3 million naira for each player and member of the coaching staff if the members defeat the Super Eagles and reach the quarterfinals. The announcement came as the president praised the team for their impressive tournament run, having reached the knockout stage for the first time, finishing third in Group F. Mozambique progressed despite a 2-1 loss to Cameroon in their final group game, with Chapo hailing the squad's courage, dedication, and resilience. Joining us live from Fez in Morocco is News Central sports correspondent Udoka Njoku. Hey Udoka, how are you?
I'm very well.
It looks like you finally got your luggage.
Yes, I finally got my luggage. I can turn my shirts now.
Okay, it's good to know. All right, so you've heard the news about Mozambique promising 11 million naira thereabout to its players and coaches if they beat Nigeria. Do you think that would make a difference? And are the Super Eagles ready? You know how it is playing against who's considered an underdog. Sometimes it's that thing that we can beat them. Do you think that was the situation?
Right. Of course, for Mozambique, it is okay to dream. Like I said to Favor earlier today, it is okay to dream. But look, Mozambique barely made it to the next round of the tournament. They finished third in their group, qualified as third best loser. So where are they getting this confidence, so to say, that they can get that victory against Nigeria? It is because Nigeria put themselves in that position, because 2025 was not such a great year for Nigeria. Remember, we didn't qualify for the World Cup. But against Mozambique, I believe that the Super Eagles have what it takes to get that victory over Mozambique. Even if they promise Mozambique the whole country, the whole houses in Mozambique, they cannot get a win against Nigeria. But then it is football. Football is played on the pitch. So far, so good. Nigeria has not disappointed against Tanzania, Uganda, and Tunisia. They got all 3 wins. But against Mozambique, it is a round of 16. It is a knockout stage. You never can tell what will come from Mozambique. So we look forward to an epic encounter between Nigeria, the Super Eagles, wounded Lions, wounded Eagles, who did not qualify for the World Cup and they want to appease their fans, versus Mozambique, third best loser, who have been promised major monetary boosts if they get that victory over the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So promises to be an epic encounter between these two sides.
All right, Udoka, let's not get overconfident there, but thank you so much for joining us today. And we do look forward to that game on Monday and look forward to having you return. We are missing you here. Please hurry up and come back. But don't come back without the trophy. Thank you. Udoka Njoku is our correspondent in Morocco. All right, and that is where we draw the curtains on today's edition, and indeed this week's edition of the 6th edition. Yes, edition. But here's a recap of the major stories today. Federal High Court in Abuja shifts decision on bail application by former Justice Minister Abubakar Malami, wife and son, to January 6. We also told you that the Plateau State Governor Caleb Muftrang has received his membership card for the All Progressives Congress. And finally, we told you that U.S. President Donald Trump has warned Iran against shooting peaceful protesters, that America will have to intervene. Remember, we'd like to hear from you. Eyewitness report, please send it to the WhatsApp number showing on the screen. And do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can also watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you again next week, Monday. I'm Neo Taigwe. Bye-bye.